Alright, stats class, we're going to look at these match pairs or these paired differences problems. So the thing is, this is two sample inference, but because it's match pairs, we're going to end up subtracting these and creating a single data set. I'm going to show you how to do that with your calculator. So you're going to enter this data into list 1, this data into list 2. Alright, I have data in all of my lists. I'm going to just go up to the top and hit clear and enter. Alright, top, clear, enter, clear, clear, enter. Okay, so now my data sets are emptied, and now I can type in these data sets. So look at what this is saying. It's saying it wants us to compare the paired differences. And you can see with this notation the difference, the average difference. So like this difference is 3, this difference is 2, this difference is 3. It's saying the average difference is 2. So the way that we can do that without having to go in one by one and calculate this and make a third list is you can tell the calculator to do it for you. So what we're going to do from there is we're going to press second mode to quit, go back to the home screen. We're going to press second list 2. Alright, these are all the values in list 2 minus second 1 for list 1. And that's how we tell our calculator to subtract the elements of list 2 minus the elements of list 1. So this is going to do 20 minus 17 is going to be 3. 25 minus 23 is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to have those numbers listed in there. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that's the differences in these lists. Now I've done the differences. I'm going to go ahead and press STO, that's store. And it's saying, where do you want me to store this list? And I'm going to press second 3 for list 3. Alright, now I could also do this. I could have done, let me just show you that it's in there now. I'm going to hit enter. It's in there in list 3. I'm going to go up and hit clear and enter just to clear that out. And I'm going to show you that I could have done that all in one line. I could do list 2 minus list 1, so the afters minus the befores. And then I can just go ahead and say store that in list 3. I can do it all in one line. And now it's in there in list 3. Again, I can go to my editor and there's list 3 with those values. Okay, but here's the thing. The reason why we do that is because we want to run a test on these differences. So if you look down here, there is our alternate hypothesis in this line. She believes that on average, adults will have more than 2. Alright, so that's the alternate hypothesis here is on average more than 2 hours from before cutting out caffeine to after. Now we're actually going to run this test in our calculator to get the value of the test statistic. So after I've done my list 2 minus list 1 storing it as list 3, I'm going to run a test. This is now just a single sample t-test. It's just a list of the differences that I have stored in list 3 is going to be what I test. So I'm just running a single t-test because I'm no longer doing it as 2 separate samples. And I'm going to pick that the data, alright, that's in list 3, I'm storing mine in list 3, has a mean, what I did before was greater than 2. So I'm going to have 2 for this number, the claim, that's the null hypothesis. List 3 is what I'm trying to use to disprove the claim, and I'm trying to show that list 3 has a value that's greater than 2. So when I do that, I get this as my test statistic. It's always the alternate hypothesis right there, the test statistic, the p-value. Alright, this is the mean. So this number, is it greater than 2? Well, the sample mean was 3.25. So is that significantly greater than 2? This p-value suggests that it is. So the first part it wants to know is what is my test statistic to 3 places. So it's going to be 3.416. And then it wants us to draw conclusions. Well, your conclusions always come from this p-value compared to your level of significance. If the p-value is less than that, and it is here, then you're always going to reject the null hypothesis. Notice 2 of them show that we reject. Right? So which one of these is it? Well, it's the one that says there is sufficient evidence. So there is sufficient evidence to support the alternate hypothesis. So that's what, to support what? The alternate hypothesis. If you read that, that was our alternate hypothesis here, the more than 2. Right? So that's why we reject. There is sufficient evidence. we reject the null hypothesis, but this says there is insufficient evidence. Well, that would be why we fail to reject. So it's just the right combination of the phrasing. So when you reject, it's because there is sufficient evidence to support the alternate hypothesis.